Gaming, when it started, it had something far from a community. Sure, there were people who grouped together and played games on slot machines and coin machines, but where the gaming community stands now is much bigger and much more dominant in scale than what it was during the Atari era. Game companies recognize that the games that they make have a big community, and they move their games and the sequels based on their community feedback. A few game companies recognize there is a community, hence, they ship countless and pointless sequels for the sake of making games. And there are a few game companies that sees us as a cash machines that will drop our life earning on whatever fuckery that they make. And yes, there are communities for those games too. There is no doubt only that EA won the worst company of the year twice in a row. This brings us to the main topic: game genres, gaming community, and game companies. Let's move on to game genres. Once games started to roll in, it literally rained cats and dogs, and genres started evolving. First person shooters. There were Doom and Wolfenstein, which said, I am the captain now to all arcade games. Then came the evolution of FPS. No one can deny the fun about shooting a person with a silenced pistol and then chaining it with a karate chop. Fun, right? GoldenEye 007 is a gift from God. Then slowly it started to evolve. New first person shooters came into play, and more companies started to make these FPS games, and suddenly it all went to a settlement.
Stalemate.
Instead of improving the gunplay and mechanics, they started to improve the visuals. Better graphics, better visuals, and better effects were the only terms that were thrown. And that is the reason why there is a still Call of Duty game being getting developed. Platformer. Then came classics like Super Metroid and Castlevania, creating a new mixed mass of a genre which took over the gaming industry by a storm. And till date, people love the combination of game Metroidvania. Nintendo revolutionized the platforming genre. Look at their games, from Super Mario 1 to Super Mario Odyssey, they rule this genre. Sure, a few of them may be a miss, but god they are great. Very few games came close to the level of quality. Celeste, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Ori and the Blind Forest 2, Will of the Wisps, and Hollow Knight are few of the best performers out there. Still, many companies who can create a great game suffer a proper level design. But indie developers out there are creating masterpieces that rival the Nintendo. Up next is puzzle based and physics based games. Valve is standing at the top spot, looking down at the other pathetic companies. Two games of the decades and two outstanding games that were not enough for them. Half-Life 1, a physics-based FPS game, won a billion awards due to one small fact: simplicity. This is defining the factor for all games, and none knew this like Valve. Valve co-founder Gabe Newell said the team aimed to create an immersive world rather than a shooting gallery. Same can be said for Half-Life 2. This time it is even better, and Valve single-handedly sculpted their names on the GOAT pillar. No other company can come close in creating a game like Half-Life 2. So Valve decided to do that themselves, and guess what? Alex was a masterpiece. 15 years of cap did not restrict them. Portal 1 and Portal 2 are the best puzzle games that only other companies can dream of. When Ubisoft was out there creating a wall-running dude and making him a time traveler and calling that puzzle, here Valve created a masterpiece. Up next is Battle Royale. The video game fuckery is at its peak. Everyone and their grandma knows about this genre. But this is the only thing that people always gets wrong about battle royales. It's not always the number one that is important. A company can present a person who won the last game by giving them a banner and a shout out to everyone, or give them a satisfactory screen that says you are only worth for this shit. But simplicity plays a major role in battle royale. When PUBG came into the scene, it was just like every other military shooter. You drop, you pick a gun, and you shoot. Simple, right? And the players felt more human thanks to the proximity chat. Then came the stupid part. Fortnite and Apex turned what a battle royale into a clusterfuck just because it is not simple. I'm not saying that there must be no learning curve, but what Fortnite and Apex do is that it has no bar for the new players. The new players in Fortnite have to figure out how to build and shoot, and they need to do everything on when to build and other stupid stuff about the resources. And Apex has many stupid systems. Locked characters is one of them. So new players cannot try all of them to understand. And due to the fact that many characters are locked, that puts players in an instant advantage. Abilities of the characters to learn, including the passive ones, which becomes a huge task. And the game takes nothing for the appeal of the new players. Look at other non BR games like CSGO, where you can play the exact same game like the pros play. Dota is another game where all the heroes are unlocked at the very start itself. This is the very reason that Kill the Battle Royale that was labeled as the potential Fortnite killer.